Okay, welcome to Me and My Golf TV and welcome to the Asprey. It's time for the Impact Show. Pierce, what do we have in store?
We're going to talk about hitting this thing, the fairway metal. How can we get you more consistent with this? Let's take charge of your game.
Hello everybody, and it's Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. It's time for the Impact Show, and this is where we answer questions on your golf swing to help create more impact in your game.
It sure is. Get involved today. Go to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and meandmygolf.com. Post your questions using the hashtag Impact Show, and it could be you.
Yes, it could be you. And also, guys, if you haven't already checked out a new app called Periscope, make sure you check it out. It's going to allow you to see us live. We're going to do some live Q&As on the range, all sorts going on, and also Snapchat, Pierce, which is a brand new thing that we've sort of started as well. So behind the scenes footage, so go and download the apps now and follow us, please, guys.
What are they going to bring out next, Andy?
Exactly.
Can we do any more?
Hard to get any more, isn't it?
I don't know if we can do any more. There are plenty more.
Okay, so also if you're a new subscriber, we've had lots of new subscribers lately over the golfing season. Thank you so much for subscribing.
Absolutely.
Hopefully you're enjoying the videos and improving your game. That's what it's all about. So please post any questions or comments down below on the channel. What do you like? What don't you like? What do you want to see more of? It's all about getting you better. So please do comment below and we'll get back to as many as we can.
Sure do.
So Pierce, today's question was all about fairway woods. We've had a question from Tom9667 from Instagram saying, do you have any tips on how to hit the fairway wood more consistently off the deck?
Yes, we do. Otherwise we wouldn't be here.
Exactly. So it's an important one.
Okay.
A lot of people struggle with it, Pierce. But there's certain sort of reasons why they struggle with it. I think it's important to know what we're looking to achieve first of all with the fairway wood in comparison to the iron and the driver.
We've got three clubs here. So should we start with the iron? Because that sort of makes sense, and we work our way up to the longest club.
Okay.
So if you've seen our videos before, you'll know we talk about the club head. When it strikes the golf ball, wants to be hitting the golf ball on the way down, the club head hitting on the way down. So basically that looks a little bit like, so the club head as it comes down in towards the golf ball, you can see the club head is traveling down as we strike the golf ball, and then the bottom of the arc, so the bottom of the golf swing with the iron ideally happens after the golf ball.
Okay, so that
you
gives
can
us
see that
ball
club
turf.
head there is absolutely, that ball turf is what we're going to get from this, but you can see this club head is bottoming out after the golf ball.
Okay, perfect. Right.
Okay.
How does that differ with, let's say, a driver?
Driver, let's go to that one then, we'll miss out the fairway metal. So with the driver, we know that we're on a big tee, okay? So we know, and we've been told a lot, that we've got to launch the ball up in the air to get the maximum distance. So to help do that, we have the bottom of the arc or the bottom of the golf swing with the driver happening ideally just before the golf ball.
Yeah.
So that means that by the time the club head hits the golf ball, it's traveling on the way up, which is going to help create that maximum distance.
Definitely. And there's certain things in the setup that help us achieve that. The body position and the ball position help us do that. But that's the general sort of idea for those guys at home. Just the awareness really of how those two differ really.
Okay. So
fairway wood.
The one in the middle. Okay, literally. So in this instance here, again, as the club approaches the golf ball, we now want the bottom of the golf swing, the bottom of the arc, to be happening right underneath the golf ball. Okay, so imagining a sort of the flat spot where the club is sort of getting to a point where it's just reached the bottom and it's just about to go up. We want that to be directly underneath that golf ball.
Okay, and this is why it's a tricky shot to play, because it's almost got to be perfect, doesn't it? You have to get that bottom of the swing just right to collect that golf ball off. You can be a little bit off with the driver.
Yes, for sure.
Because you're hitting on the way up and the ball's teed up. But with the fairway wood, striking the ball consistently is a massive part of it, and if you can do that, you're going to get the distance and it's going to make a big difference.
And it is difficult, as you said, sometimes on the fairway if it's sitting down tight. Sometimes it's better hitting your fairway metals actually out of the rough or the semi-rough.
It is. So Pierce, why do we see golfers struggle so much with the fairway? Well, let's go through some of the things that they tend to sort of struggle with.
The main things that we see in the setup where people struggle is their ball position.
Yeah.
So where they put it. So there's two main things that sort of happen. We can have the ball position the same as the driver. Now generally when we see people do this ball position, it's too far forward. So imagining from there that the club then doesn't quite make it because the club's a little bit shorter maybe, but the club shaft, the head doesn't bottom out underneath the ball, it bottoms out before the golf ball. Now because it's a smaller head, we haven't got that large hitting area that you mentioned there, it's a lot harder to get a solid consistent strike with it, and with obviously the golf ball being on the ground. Imagine trying to hit a driver off the deck, very difficult.
Yeah.
So because that ball gets a little bit too far forward, we get that club bottoming out before the ball and the strike just isn't that solid.
A few tops from there potentially as well.
Without doubt you can thin them absolutely.
Okay, so again, the other one?
Ball too far back. So if we were to move the ball too far back in the stance, that again can create a bottom of the arc, which is actually happening to, you know, too much sort of in this area here, past the golf ball, so getting past the golf ball. Now, what will happen is if your brain knows that the bottom of your arc is going to be after the golf ball, then we often see this a lot.
Yeah.
People sort of backing up and leaning back when they're hitting the golf ball to try and lift it in the air, because if they were to hit it solid from here, it's going to go in knee high.
Definitely. And another key thing is that most people, again, when they're looking down at the fairway wood, it's a smaller head. You don't see a lot of loft on there. Most people have got 3 wood, sometimes a 5, but a lot of people try and help it up. Now, the key thing is here, it's almost making sure that you can trust the loft. The number one priority with this club is really getting the distance out of it. The loft should take care of itself, but we see people trying to almost help it up, Pierce, and then how does that then affect the golf swing? What do we see?
Well,
what do we see in that?
Do you know what? We generally see straight away people finishing like this, don't we? We see people up on this back foot, and they're just not transferring weight through the golf ball. If you want to get a solid contact on the golf ball and get that golf ball in the air, you need to transfer that weight forward. So as you're saying, Andy, you know, I often see people on the golf course, they'll hit that fairway metal and they'll be on that back foot.
And again, that really causes the club to bottom out too early here,
yeah,
and then rise up over the top of the golf ball. Very hard to get it hitting solid there, really, as well.
Without doubt.
Okay, right, so Pierce, let's go through then. First of all, setup, where do we want the ball position? And then what are maybe a couple of good practices that we can do on the range to help us get this solid strike?
Okay, so what I would say from here is then that the getting the golf ball forward in the stance inside the heel, as we said, is good with a driver. We want to go a couple of inches back of that. Depends on the person, but if we were to just go a couple of inches back of that, that's where we want to be with that. Now, we always say as well, you're aware where the bottom of the swing is when you hit the ground. Okay, so when you know you're hitting the ground, that's generally where the bottom of the swing is going to be. So what we want you to do is to have practice swings where you're feeling as though you are brushing the grass or brushing the mat if you're on the driving range.
Yeah.
You can see when I finished my shot here now, I've transferred my weight through, we hit the ground as well.
Yeah.
So the bottom of my swing there was happening about underneath the golf ball, but again, I'm transferring that weight. So just getting that feeling of clipping the ground in the right spot, but also transferring the weight is really going to help.
Okay.
Now the hard part is when people then go and hit the golf ball, they suddenly go and hit it hard and lean back and do all of that. You then got to tell yourself when you go and hit the shot to do that same motion.
Okay, so just take your setup, Pierce. Let's just swing back to the top then. So this is the key thing, guys. This is what we see so often people struggle with. But if we swing back to the top, number one thing here, from the top of the golf swing, we have to get that weight going forward. So we want to get that weight moving to the lead side, and from there now you can go ahead and brush the ground. And as you can see, Pierce has finished onto his left toe, or left foot, sorry, should I say. But from there you can see he's getting that first initial movement, which is that bump towards the target where the weight shifts and then goes through. And there we go. And that's just a great thing to do, Pierce, to be able to feel that shift of weight, isn't it?
And that was very subtle, just grazing the grass on all of those, and that'll be fine when I'm hitting the shot.
Right, okay, Pierce, let's have a go. Yeah? Let's see if we can brush this away nicely and get it on this.
It's a long way, this isn't. The wind's just picked up. So ball position a little bit further back than the driver. Okay. All right, here I go. Transfer that weight. Oh, keep watching, please.
And we're going to keep watching this
keep
one,
watching,
guys,
please.
It is going straight towards the hole. Oh, it's come up short.
Oh, I was right on line.
It was dead on line as well. Pretty good golf shot that was.
Harder.
Very lucky.
Absolutely. Okay, there you go, Tom. Some very simple thoughts there on how to get more consistency with this fairway metal. Now, guys, post your questions down below if you have any other questions about fairway metals. We would love to answer those. And guys, if you've not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button. It allows you to interact with us. It is for free, and it allows you to ask us these questions and produce these videos for you.
Definitely. And also, guys, make sure you check out meandmygolf.com, our website. Lots of great content on there, including a brand new video series, Turn Your Slides into a Draw. Click the link in the corner, go and check it out today, and let us know how you get on. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks, guys.